Welcome. Today is June 15th, 2008, and because we have seemed to lost the regular digital camera in the course of the move, we're not sure where it is, we thought we'd do a brief video tour of our new home here at 2138 Roblin Avenue. 2138 Roblin Avenue. So come on in and we'll show you around a little bit. So here we are on the front porch. It's one of those enclosed front porches, but rather nice as they go. We've got dual ceiling fans to keep things cool. We've even got the beginnings of the setup in here, which is kind of nice. It's actually a nice little space. We spent a little bit of time in here, but obviously we've got a long way to go, and you'll see that throughout the house. I mean, we've only begun to set things up. Some things are chaotic, a lot of stuff is temporary, but we're just giving you kind of an early shot in terms of how things go. So we'll step inside. As you walk in, you can tell we have the long, narrow living room, which runs essentially the length of the house. The house was built in 1915. And we're learning from the neighbors a little bit about the history of the house. I think one of the main thing that they're telling us is about 8 years ago, somebody came in and did major renovation. The dining room we like, it's faced differently than they are in most houses, and it's also much brighter, I think, than a lot of other spots. And again, this also has these kind of cool windows that open right on out to the porch.
And you loved the bench. There's a little inset.
Little bench thing here, which is actually not a bad spot to sit in. There's obviously built-in drawers. And then what we'll do is we'll wander this way into the kitchen. It's modest size, but it's quite functional. We like it. Having the single corner sink's a little funky.
Window above the sink, which is a lot of people. That's a big selling point in a house.
Well, one of the things that I do to sort of compromise if I'm doing the dishes is I'll open this and look at the sponges and the napkin holder in there with the ice maker and the water out of the refrigerator.
Yes.
I don't know how I lived without this. This is the most fabulous thing in the world.
Where did these lovely flowers come from?
Aren't those lovely?
Aren't they just beautiful? Where did they come from?
From the backyard. Here is where the lovely flowers came from. Nice little patch right here in the...
We have an explosion of
color.
So
we'll come back toward the garage here. Come back this way, and we're back in the alley now, and here's the garage. And yes, we have the same model cars, and no, we didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing.
A friend of ours was running for office. His name is Brian. And so those were the signs, and so Becky kept one. Here's the back of the house. Two stories, fairly tall actually. Most of these older houses are quite tall. So now we're back in the house, back in the kitchen, and so now we just figure we go a little bit more this way. We've got a little bit of pantry space here, and then this is a nice touch that's been added more recently, is we have a main floor bathroom. It's small, but it works. So here we are in the basement. Basement's a bit of a wreck at the moment because as we're moving in, we're storing all the stuff down here. We haven't figured out exactly all we'll do in here, but this is seems like not a bad space.
It'll be much nicer once we get it fixed up.
Yeah.
The two main things down here is, well, this room I just showed you, and then we have a what is considered a finished bedroom.
Right, and that's in here. There's a lot of junk in here at the moment.
And this is can be counted as a bedroom because it has this full egress window that makes it up to fire code.
And there's a closet over this way.
Yeah, so it's a finished room with the closet.
Boiler in, water heater, and all of this, all fairly new. So one of the nice things about the house is a lot of the stuff is fairly new, so we're not going to have to go through the whole business of replacing it all anytime soon, we hope. We've got the laundry equipment in here, and we have a toilet. which is, we call this the cabbage room, so if you happen to drink lots of beer and eat cabbage and you want to do what you have to do without it being a major problem for anybody, this is the room that you would come down to do this in. So I usually get banished down here when I need to use the restroom. Ellsbury just hit a home run to put the Red Sox ahead 4-0 against Cincinnati here, so that's a pleasant thing to find when we come back upstairs. So we're back in the living room, and now we're going to head to the upstairs part of the house.
Okay.
So here we are coming up the stairs. First room we go into is sort of in the back of the house. We're calling this the sunroom. It's one of our favorite rooms in the house, even though it's very, very small. It's obviously, it gets all kinds of sun. It's just a very pleasant place to be. So when we first looked at it, I think this was one of the, even though it's small and it's hard to see obvious function to it, it's just such a pleasant place, but at least I was drawn to it. We have a door that goes seemingly no place. So it opens up.
This is the red rug shaking porch.
Right, that's what they call it. That's what they call it, so people could come out here and shake out their rugs. You know, just kind of come out and whack them through. So it's just kind of weird because you're just looking and so there's a door that seems to go nowhere, but that's apparently what it's for. Our neighbors actually put a railing up out here. Maybe we'll do that someday.
Oh, I guess I've never really noticed that.
Yeah.
So they have, I wonder if they use it.
I don't know. Looks like a door to nowhere, but that's what we're told was the purpose of it years ago. And then there's a small little closet where we have a few things. Here's the master bedroom. There was one house that we were looking at that we really liked. In retrospect now, I think we're glad we didn't end up there. But it had been redone, it was beautiful. But the problem was the bedrooms were just so small. In a lot of the houses looking in the middle of the city, which is largely where we are, just didn't have this kind of space. So to find a bedroom with this kind of size is astounding. And there are walk-in closets, 2 walk-in closets on both sides.
Oh, who's this on the bed?
Ernie and Bert. So as we come to the side of the house, this is the second bedroom that we are tentatively thinking that we might use as an office, and we have the computer in a temporary setup. This is a very nice desk that we have to reassemble, but we need to figure out exactly where we're going to put it. So now here's the award-winning bathroom, or it was at one point. This is kind of a nice little spot as well. Good sized. The dual sinks, which are a lovely feature. Plenty of cabinet space underneath. And then the bathroom heads back this way, where we have the bathtub and the shower off in the corner, and then there's a small storage closet back here. We have an attic. It's an attic. We have to put up a ladder to go up there. So thanks for your patience in watching. Hope you enjoy it and hope all is well, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.